My name is James, and this is Convo, encouraging conversations that matter. Today is a good day, and I'm joined in by my friend who agreed to come and visit me and to engage in a conversation. And I'm so delighted to welcome him to the show. But before I do that, I would love you to consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Share. Give me that a thumbs up or a thumbs down is still okay, and twice before, but I'm so happy today to come to you again with another interesting and encouraging conversation, and it's all about money. I decided that we need to discuss money because money is very, very critical. And you know what, I have a young man with me in the studio today, and we're going to discuss about money. And without wasting so much time, kindly let me welcome my friend Justus. Justus, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes. Yeah. You're most welcome here.
Thank you.
This is Convo. Here we just encourage conversations that matter. And I'm so delighted that you're here with me and to discuss issues to do with money. We are discussing money, and specifically young adults and money. You just left college, or you just graduated, you got a job, and then you have your salary. How do you go about your money? How do you invest your money? How do you save? Do you budget? What are some of the lies about the money? Those are the kind of the conversation that we will be discussing with Justus. Again, before you go so much, kindly consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. So Justus,
yes.
Now we just need to lock onto the conversation on finances. And I know money is a very heated conversation. Everybody is looking for money. You are going to school, you leave school, look for a job because you need some money to cater for your bills and all that stuff. But maybe we need to understand what money is. And basically, because when you understand what money is, you're able now to be able to know how to manage it, be able to find ways of getting more money. And so maybe the first question I would love you to help us, and even from your own personal perspective, is what do you think about money? What is money basically?
Thank you, James.
Yes.
I really appreciate
Ivan
for having me here. We all know we are living in a information era.
Yes.
And the much you know determines the much you go or excel.
Yes.
And one of the way to impact the current generation is sharing information.
Yes.
And making sure that you are having conversation that matters.
Yes.
Is
sure.
One definite way of impacting generation.
Yes.
Getting to money.
Yes.
Money is very critical.
Yes.
And this is discussion that is being discussed all over.
Yeah.
And everyone seems to be interested in this conversation
on money.
Yeah. I think maybe to define money, I would just give two definitions. One is a way or a form of exchange in forms of coins,
yes,
or banknotes.
Yeah.
Or else you may define money as a form of wealth, or affluence, or riches,
yeah,
or wealth. Yeah. So basically, that is what defines money. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. And the reason why we're having discussion about money with Justus is because Justus one is accounting. I think his day-to-day affair is on accounting, and he is so passionate about money and investment. And that's why I thought that, because he seemed to understand so much about money. I think the first time we met, he told me about the book he's reading is Rich Dad and Poor Dad. That's a book he told me he is reading. And so he's so passionate about money and investment. That's why we felt that he would be very, very, rich in terms of sharing with us this conversation. Now, I understand money is basically, form of exchange. It's a value you exchange for something, a value. And I don't know whether you're growing up, you have some misconceptions or lies about money. What did you grow up believing money is?
Definitely, I have several misconceptions about money.
Yes.
And one of the biggest was I grew up thinking that once I grow up, I will have money. As I advance in age, I will be advancing in terms of what I owe. I came to a position of thinking that if I associate myself
Yeah.
with rich people, I will be rich
Yes.
by default. And I think that has proven very wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
that is one of the greatest misunderstanding.
Yes.
Or
That you can grow up with a rich person and you end up
Yeah.
not being, without money.
sure. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think
Wow.
that is the major.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it means that you have to work for the money.
Yeah, one thing that I've come to learn, money does not grow like trees.
Yes, we
You
were
have
told
to
that.
look for ways
Yes.
to look for money.
Yes.
And you have to increase ways if you want to have more money.
Yes.
You have to look for ways.
Yes.
You have to work for it.
Yes.
And you have to be so determined to have it.
Okay. Wow. Perfect. Now, let me bring you close. I know right now you don't have a family. I want to ask you a question, but maybe I know one day you maybe probably get there. And there's this notion, and I don't know, it's a concept that people say that her money is her money, and your money is our money. And this in the maybe a family setting. What is your thought about her money and our money? Do you agree? Do you feel there's is a misconception still?
It is true to say I
Yeah.
don't have a family now, so I can only see from
Yes.
an ideal point,
Yes.
or what I think
Yes, yes.
is the ideal.
Yes.
The ideal.
Yes.
I cannot talk of this out of experience. I can only talk it out of books.
Okay.
But basically,
Yes.
according to my understanding, that is a long notion,
Yes.
and that is maybe something that we should not tolerate
Okay.
or instill in the young generation, because we all need to come together.
Yes.
We all need to work as a team
Yes.
to build one family.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the idea of your money is our money is basically when you in such a situation that every money that comes to this family is all of our money, and then we need to plan for that money irrespective of. Now, going forward, after clarifying some of the misconception I know about money, and I think there are so many misconceptions that we believe about money, and that sometimes still we are taught that you have to wake up in an office in the morning, work and yourself up to be able to get a salary. But we've seen that nowadays that you can even do some stuff in your house and provide some services seated in your room, and still you're making money. But I know we grew up knowing that you have to be employed, you have to go out there and be in an office or do some manual labor to make money. But then you realize there are so many other ways of making money. Like you can even take your money and invest so that you're earning from your money. So, and I think that's something that we were never told when we were growing up. Now, going ahead, and I know that maybe probably you're working and maybe you have your salary. I want to ask you, do you budget for your money, or how do you utilize the money that you receive from maybe whichever, maybe job or any other work that you do?
I maybe to respond
Yeah.
to your concern.
Yes.
First is to say that we all should be in a position where we are trying to move from a point where we are working for money,
Yes.
to get into a situation where money is working for us.
Okay.
I
That's
think we
powerful.
should all target to heading that route.
Yes.
And we can only do that by increasing our income.
Yes.
And doing all the due diligence.
Yes.
Coming to budgeting, budgeting is very critical.
Yes.
To me.
Yes.
I have learned the importance of budgeting.
Yes.
And I have the information even at heart. I do budget all my income.
Yes.
I ensure that I have a clear record of my net income.
Yes.
And I also try to master my expenditure. Yeah, and I think that has been of great help to me.
Okay.
Even as I grow and I increase my muscle in terms of finances.
Okay. So budgeting become very, very key aspect. Do you have some Do you follow a certain template, or how do you budget your money? That where you say this goes to here, these are the money goes to this project. This, which criteria do you use when you're budgeting for your money?
In the course of growth in this area of finances,
Yes.
I have mastered several things,
Yes.
both by learning and by experience.
Yes.
And by now, I can tell you that in a week,
Yes.
approximately how much I do spend
Okay.
in a normal week. And sitting in my position, I'm able to know maybe in a month I'm able to have a net income of this amount.
Okay.
So with that, I'm able to budget myself,
Okay.
to allocate funds to things that I know they are important, and maybe to look for a way to reduce my expenditure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. We are discussing about money, and from a young man's perspective, to understand more about money. How do we budget? How do we invest our money? And how do we even make sure that we are even getting more money? So it's all about money today, and I'm joined by Justus. Again, I want to remind you to consider subscribing and sharing with your friend if you're enjoying this conversation. Just as going ahead, I want to engage you, and for what you just said is very critical. The issue of budgeting your money, and I think because you look at your life, there's so many facets of your life that will require your money. You have some bills. Maybe probably you have a family that is also depending on you in one way or the other. You still could have maybe want to advance your education or career. There's so many other things. You want to buy properties, you want to buy assets, and so budgeting become very, very critical, and we cannot overestimate the importance of budgeting. I don't know whether there's any mistake you found yourself when you're trying to create your own budget. Is there any some mistakes you've come, okay, the way I've been creating my budget or the way I've been assessing my expenditures, there's something wrong?
Yeah, definitely there are several.
Yes.
In life, we are always running.
Of course.
And one of the best way to learn is by making a mistake and rectifying it by yourself.
Sure.
The main mistake that I used to make as I was starting to make my personal budget was not appreciating my income. You find that as I budget, I would have more of expenditure than I have than the income that I'm having. So I would find myself not being able to allocate or subdivide the income that I had. So I think that was a greatest mistake. And I also was finding myself in several instances measuring mostly in the balance. After budgeting your cash, I concentrate much in the balance that I have. But I have come to realize that should not be the way. We should be concentrating on the amount that we are earning, not at the balance. After
so you do your own spend everything, and then the money that the balance, that's what now is trying to allocate. Saving account in your family. I think that's a huge point. Talking of budgeting, let's jump into investment. Something I know you're so passionate about. What's your take on investment? For example, from your budget, how much money should go to investment?
I would say 10 to 25%.
10 to 25%.
Depending on maybe the income of that particular period.
Okay.
Because I have mastered my expenditure.
Yes.
So any surplus, I'm able to invest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, and then now, okay, for example, your investment, what are some of the areas or ways you can invest your money? Do you, for example, do you do investment yourself? Do you invest your money?
Yeah.
And is investing same as saving? Maybe you might want to help us understand the difference.
There is a very big difference
Yes.
to say.
Yes.
Investing is allocating money and setting it aside to a place where it can be able to multiply.
Okay.
Where savings just storing. And most of the saving schemes that we have, they are even costly.
Okay.
And they don't have any income. When looking at investment, is that you are setting money aside, where that money will increase, where you will have something that will get after investment. Yeah, I do invest, and that is one thing that I'm really passionate about. And there are very many ways of investing, and I would wish to encourage even the young people who are watching us to be very informed about investment.
Yeah.
This is one area that you need to be very, very informed, because there are very many ways of investment, and the more you have access to a broad pool of information, the more you have many options.
Okay.
Because maybe one way of investment may favor me, and the other one will not favor you.
Yes.
For example, there are some who are interested in real estate, there are some who are not. There are some who are interested in money market like I do, and there are some who are really maybe afraid of it. So talking about investment, this is one area that you can only advise someone, but you cannot really encourage them to do something.
Yes.
Because it is something that you need to do out of the information that you have, and out of maybe the money that you are planning to invest, and maybe the targeted goal. Yeah.
Oh, amazing, amazing. And you've just mentioned something, but before I ask you the next question, which I needed you to give our viewer some of your, where would you advise them to invest money? And I'd love to ask you to just tell us more about money market. Initially for me, I didn't know so much about money markets. And I remember way back I had opened a money market account, but because I didn't understand how it works, then I found myself not paying attention or thinking about investment until very late, that I understood what money market is and what it can, the advantages, the disadvantages, and I thought it's a good thing. Maybe you can advise our viewer what money market is and some of the benefits.
Talking about money market,
Yes.
I would say it is the easiest way to invest,
Yes.
even as a young person.
Yes.
Because maybe you may lack capital to invest in real estate.
Yes.
You may lack capital to start business.
Sure.
Or else you may be employed.
Yes.
Where you don't have maybe time to do other investment.
Yes.
But talking about money market, you can start with as less as maybe $50.
Yes.
Maybe in several schemes.
Yes.
And you are sure that your money will have returns. You are guaranteed of a return. You are guaranteed of your money and guaranteed of a return.
Yes.
Money market is basically a platform where established companies,
Yes.
All firms,
Yes.
pull up resources from different people.
Yes.
Then they put them in a worthwhile investment that is able to pay back.
Yes.
Then the profit is shared
Yes.
with the people who invested. So if today I invest my $60 in a company,
Yes.
they collect the other $60 from another one, another $100 from another one.
Yes.
Then they build something after analysis, and after ensuring that this money will definitely have a return.
Okay.
The best thing about this is that you are not the one to take care of the risk. The company you are investing with will mitigate or work through all the risk. Yours is just earning and maybe enjoying the benefits.
Wow. Something I noted about money market is that you can withdraw your money anytime you want. That's a good thing, but still you could be tempted to just check what is happening in your, when your chicken is brooding. You might want to check if the actually the eggs have hatched. So I think that for me, that's the only thing I fight. But it's still, you feel safe because you can withdraw your money anytime.
withdraw,
I think it's feel safe, and I think that's a good thing. Good. Now I want to progress because time is really gone and we want to end this conversation. But I won't let you go before we talk about two things. One is the mistakes you've made. Is there anything in your life that come to money? And I know could have asked you this question during budgeting, but generally about money. Is there some mistakes that you made that you feel that, man, I made a mistake and you never want to repeat again?
Yeah, there are several mistakes.
Yes.
And one that is that has been maybe disturbing me for a while.
Yes.
Is renting money.
Okay, lending money.
Yeah, I think I come from a point where we used to live as communal.
Okay.
James, when I was growing up, in my tender age,
Yes.
we would go to my cousin's house and borrow lice. We would go to my cousin's place and borrow even sugar.
Yeah, even salt.
So I come from that point.
Yes.
Where I think we are made for each other.
Okay.
And helping each other is very key.
Yes.
So I got myself very soft in lending money.
Okay.
And maybe I thought each and everyone who promised to give back would actually do so. But most of the people that I maybe rented some big monies were not able to return the money. All were not able to return the money on time.
Okay.
So I think that is one of the biggest mistake that I have found myself in, and I'm still growing.
Yeah.
And the issues of trust, I think is something that we need to build.
Yes. Yes.
And maybe to think wisely about that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Well, final question. I think that's one thing that so many people can relate to, where the issue of lending money, and sometimes we are lending to our friends, and sometimes become very hard, and maybe sometimes you can really blame them because honestly maybe they are not in a position and all that stuff. But still, my friend told me that you need to give some money, the money that you're comfortable, even if you did not return on time, you're still comfortable, and so you're not giving away the money that you're meant to pay your rent or maybe your school fees.
Sure.
Good. Now the last question I want to ask is revolving around you as a man and you're a family. What do you think is very critical for you as a man to be able to manage your money wisely? And I'm not really like saying ladies can just spend the way their money is, but I'm just speaking specifically to young men. How can you, manage the little money or the much money that you're getting wisely?
A wise man said,
yes,
that a wise man
yes,
leaves an inheritance even to the children. I think as a man,
yes,
it's very critical to establish or have skills and financial literacy.
yes,
as a man, you have the vision of the family. You have a picture of where you want to be.
yes,
You have desires, and maybe by nature they are many dependent of a man as maybe compared to the other gender.
yes,
So I think as a man, it is very critical,
yes,
to have financial literacy, to grow more in the knowledge of finances,
yes,
and even to think wisely of where you are investing your money.
yes.
It might be the heart of your future.
Sure. Wow. And I think one of the main reasons you have so many young men, going through a lot of, depression, fear, anxiety, all those. And if you look deeply, it involves allowed money. You have the money and then you misuse all that money, and then then there's some bills to pay, there's some responsibility to take care of, and then you don't have the cash, and so that become a very a source of depression, or and it's very critical that you as a young man, you need to be able to, I think we cannot offer reiterate the importance of your money. So that's amazing. So I think just because we are winding up, I'll love you to just final word to our viewer, maybe involving around money, and just your parting shot.
Yeah, my final word would be,
yes,
there is no good loan. There is no good debt.
There's no good loan.
There is no good debt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. I think we come to an end to our conversation. I'm so glad that you managed to join us. And I think we're going to advance this conversation, especially revolving about allowed young men. Why is it very critical for young men to invest their money, save their money, take care of their money? And know what? We're going to advance this conversation. We won't let it disappear. So if you have questions, if you have some comments, kindly consider put them on the comments, share this stream with your friends, and again, before we go, remember to subscribe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.